Steelers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set, somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top shelf, sports talk, lights, cameras, we active.
Yo, it's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back with week 10 of the NFL season. The Eagles versus the Packers. Oh, I didn't get my banner lined up. Let me do that right now. Eagles versus Packers, big game. But before I get into that, really quick, I released a video Friday about mental health and, the situation with the guy from the Dallas Cowboys committing suicide. I encourage everybody who hears this video, hears this live, watches that video, to check on your loved ones. Sometimes it's just about making sure that you are a listening ear to them more than you are asking them for something. People in this world nowadays deal with a lot of stress and a lot of pressure of life, but do a good job of hiding it until it gets to a point where it starts to, boil over. So instead of being the person in somebody's life that's constantly trying to get your own problems solved and trying to get, your situations heard, try to be the person that another person can listen to, or lean on you, you know what I mean, and let their frustrations and issues and problems go. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to see anybody commit suicide. It's hard because, these, a lot of times they're young, and they're going through things. This guy just made it to the NFL, and I'm sure there was probably a lot of people just with their hands out around him and just trying to get what they can get from him and not really checking on him to see what they could do for him. So I encourage everybody to see what they can do for others before they rely on others to do for them. I just want y'all to know that. See what you could do for others before you ask others what they could do for you. That was, the video that I did the other day. I just want to get out the way. Mental health is serious, so just pay attention to that. And then nothing wrong with going around telling your loved ones or people that's close to you love them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Just anybody out here who's listening to me right now, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. I love y'all for who y'all are and what y'all do. And if you ever need to lean on me and talk to me, like, I'm not the best, but I'll help. I'll do what I can. So that was my first message for this morning. The second message is shout out to my mom if you're here. Facts, right? Facts. Shout out to my mom if you're on already for the cup. I didn't get the chance to use it yet, but there it is. My mom made me a cup with both my old logo and my new logo on there. So shout out to her. If you guys need any craft and stuff like that, cups like that, please reach out to me and I'll see. She's not big like she can't manufacture thousands of them at a time, but something small she could definitely do. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate it. She definitely looked out for me. I didn't even know that was coming. She surprised me with it, and and it was a good surprise. So shout out to her. But now let's get back to football. Reese, I hope you're on here too now. Now that we got all that out the way, Reese, where you at? Comment now, Reese, if you here, because we play them Green Bay Packers tomorrow night. And excuse me, Reese, I need you in the room. I need you in the room because you're a Packers fan. Y'all got Micah Parsons. Y'all hype about having Micah Parsons. And y'all think that y'all going, go to the Super Bowl or the road to the Super Bowl will go through y'all. One thing that I will always remind you, Green Bay Packer fans, cheeseheads, is the fact that you have Jordan Love as your quarterback. You have Jordan Love as your quarterback. Now, he's a good quarterback, nice arm talent. He's not Jalen Hurts. He's not Jalen Hurts. And what I mean by that, when the pressure is on, he does not know how to finish it. Good morning, Jay. Hope you had a good birthday weekend or birthday week. Jason's birthday was November the 6th. If everybody could drop a happy birthday to Jason in the chat, appreciate it. I'm not no hater. Not no hater. Not no hater. But the fact is that Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in the game, if not the best quarterback in the game. And for the start of this year, he's been getting so much hate on the fact that he's been more efficient than everybody else. It's guys that they had in the top 10 quarterback, as they take that as a plus though. Happy belated birthday, Jay. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Jordan Love, when it comes down to it, all right, so last year we played them the beginning of the season again in Brazil. Then we played them again in the playoffs. And Jordan Love has, I'm not saying he's the reason they lost the games, but he definitely didn't play well enough to win the game. Would you say, yep, sure did, thank you. No problem, Jay. But at the end of the day, Jordan Love to me has what it takes to be a regular season quarterback. I don't think he has what it takes to be a playoff type quarterback. Now we'll see. Last year was because he's always injured though. Let's say that he's injured a lot. But last year was one of the years you would thought that, not against us because he played us in the first round, but it was a stretch throughout that season where he just didn't look good at all. And then he came on at the end. So there's a lot of inconsistencies, but like a lot of analysts, top 10, quarterback listings, it's like, they had Jalen Hurts just like on the outside looking in. And none of the quarterbacks, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, has ever done what Jalen Hurts done. As far as accomplishments, getting to, Super Bowls and things of that nature, winning them playoff games and all that. No, they haven't done it. So what I'm confused on is why does he still continue to get the hate? And why doesn't people recognize the talent that he has and acknowledge the fact that it's better than Jordan Love? Now, here's my thing. Here's my keys to this game right now, right? We got the Green Bay Packers, who's a tough team, tough opponent. They're tough. Michael Parsons is, on that squad now. And I always tell people, that we are the Michael Parsons neutralizers. You know what I mean? We know how to not let his pass rush affect us as much as he does with other people. The year he beat the Cowgirls, he played good in that playoff run. Yeah. But see that's true. That's true. But what really won that game? He's good. Don't push it. You don't even know what you're talking about. Stop it. Stop. You get the. But no, you know what it was in that game? It was the fact that the defense too was the top 10 defense that year too, when they beat the Cowboys, because they was coming with the pressure on Dak Prescott and made Dak Prescott look bad, even though he wasn't the reason why they lost that game. But I mean, I think he threw an interception at the end of the game to seal the deal. But he was playing some good football. But they had good defense that year too. And Packers defense over the last couple of years has had a good defense. The D is definitely nice. Can't lie about that. Yeah, that's to me what separates them and makes them a good team is the defense. And yeah, I know you don't. So at the end of the day, you cut it out. What separates them is the defense. Like I don't think it's more about Jordan Love than it is their defense. You know what I mean? Like I think their defense is the one that holds them down, and Jordan Love just is able to make a right play at the right time. But to me, that doesn't translate into him being this night and not even now. I don't think they say night and day, but I don't think it translates into him being a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. That's just my opinion on it. I just don't see it. Jalen Hurts, when asked to when they stop the run, or when teams gear up to stop the run, what do? They have to pass the ball, and we've seen Jalen Hurts plenty of times throughout his career go out and beat teams by passing the ball. I mean, for Christ's sake, he won a Super Bowl last year with Kansas City going into the game saying, "I'm stopping Saquon Barkley." Jalen Hurts has to prove to me that he can win the game. You know what I mean? You you just trolling. Um, but Jalen Hurts, they make teams make Jalen Hurts beat them, and when he doesn't beat them, I mean, when he does beat them, now it's another issue or something else. Like for instance, with the AJ Brown thing. Now, do I think that AJ Brown is frustrated and irritated about not being used as much as he wants to be used in the games? Yes. But do I think they try to blow it up to make it seem like that? I think what happens is that they know a lot of these guys, to me, aren't media trained, and so they try to push guys to say things that they normally wouldn't say, or say things that'll get them a big, clickbait session. Like when they came back off a bye week, they asked AJ Brown, "Do you want to be here?" In hopes that he'll say something crazy, whereas though it'll cause controversy in the team, and then they said, "Oh, look, there it is. This team is not a good team. They're not going to win. They're not focused, whatever the case may be." And then ultimately it transfers into Jalen Hurts too. I don't know how they do it, but I don't know why they do it. It's like last year we went through the same thing. Oh, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown not on the same page and not getting along. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. They can't win like that. Da, 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 da. Next thing you know, we in the Super Bowl when we win it. So to me, it's like, why don't we just get our props? I mean, here's the thing: we get ready to go against the Green Bay Packers tomorrow night, prime time. Green Bay Packers, tough team. Now we go out there and handle business against Green Bay Packers. What will be the next excuse? Somebody tell me what y'all think will be the next excuse if we go out there and beat Green Bay tomorrow night, which we have beaten Green Bay twice in the last year. And don't get it wrong, I'm not discounting Micah Parsons, but all they did was add Micah Parsons. And I'm not saying that he's no sack of potatoes or nothing like that, but all they did was add Micah Parsons. But what makes them so much night and day better than what the Eagles have done over the last couple years? I mean, we were in the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl last year. 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls we were in. So somebody help me understand, why is this team so much better than the Eagles when the Eagles have accomplished more than that team? I don't get it. And I don't think there's nobody out here that could tell me why or what makes it better. What makes them better? Now, I'm not saying, like, here's the thing, Eagles got their flaws, but they did go out, Howie did go out and do what Howie does. Howie went out and shored up some positions of need. Cornerback 2, edge rusher. We're getting players back. This game right here is going to show the world what this team is made of, and how good this team is. I think we go out there tomorrow night, show the world that we can handle business. We can beat this team. This team is not on the same level of us. But don't get it wrong, it will be hard and it will be stressful. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to be a walk in the park, or we just go out there and blow them out, because we know how the Eagles play, but we know that the Eagles know how to win. Some of the games that we win in be games that like a Packers team will lose to. Maybe they predicted more pressure on the QB, the line not healthy. But you know what the problem is? One of the problems is that the line is not healthy. There's really our center Cam jerseys. The only issue with that is the fact that if you pressure Jalen Hurts and he don't get the ball out, guess what's going to happen? He can run. He can run. He got legs. He's going to run the ball. We're more than okay. She said we just okay. We're more than okay. They could say they have more consistent D than we have been, but we had some injuries on defense, and we had our cornerback 2 position was trash. So it's a I don't know if it's more consistent when you tie against the Dallas Cowboys, even though they had the #1 offense, and you lose to the they lost to the Browns, and they lost to who was their most recent loss to? Somebody that wasn't good. The Panthers. They lost to the Browns and the Panthers. I'm not gonna say the Panthers weren't that good, but they should never have lost to them. You know what I mean? So you can talk about it like here's what I'm saying. Like it's games like what you call Broncos. The Denver Broncos is a good team. Now the Giants, yeah, we should have never lost to them, but they're in our conference. Um, now that's sad. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is that even with Michael Parsons on that team, even with with the projected, defensive push they're gonna have on that team, it doesn't to me it doesn't equal out to a all out better team than us. Even with our backups, you know what I mean? Like we are like what's his name? What's our backup? What's his name? Darn. I just was thinking about him earlier. Even our backup center, he's a backup. Toth, Brett Toth. He played good last game against the Giants, and the Giants got one of the best pass rushing teams in the league. So like we can handle our own business. I just don't understand why we get so much disrespect. That's the part I do not get. I do not understand, and nobody can help me out with that because it's like, what do we have to do? And I hear people say that we have to win 2 championships in a row. We got to go back to back in order for Jalen Hurts and this team to get respect. Like it's not enough that we won one. We've been to 2-1-1. We've been one of the more other than the year that collapsed, and one of the more consistent teams in the league, constantly improving. One of the best GMs to ever, be a GM in the game. Like that's not enough. That's not enough. Somebody got to help me out with that because again, the Packers team that just became relevant over the last 2 or 3 years is all of a sudden a team that they say is better than the Eagles, who's been doing it consistently over the last couple of years. How does that work? How does it work? Somebody fill me in because again, like I say, you can win. We won against the Packers last year twice. The first game of the season, the first game of the playoffs. Beat them twice with Jordan Love. With Jordan Love on that team, minus Michael Parsons, but with Jordan Love. But why is the Packers so much better than the Eagles? Is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm anxious to see what Jaden. This is let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about our Eagles defense. Let's talk about Jalen Phillips. Let's talk about how hype he is to be a part of the Eagles organization and how much of a dominant force he's going to be on that defensive line. Let's talk about him being paired up with Jalen Carter. They're not. You're just a hater. They're not. Stop being a hater. Um, let's talk about how he's paired up with Jalen Carter now, and how much that defensive line is going to get after Jordan Love and stop the run. Like how? Like I still don't even hear. Like when we got Jalen Phillips, I heard a lot of people say there was solid pickups. That was, a good pickup that should ensure that the fact that they can get back to the Super Bowl. But I'm still hearing rumbles that other teams are still better in the NFC. I just don't. Me personally, I don't understand it. But we'll figure it out as time goes on. We'll see after tomorrow night and see what happens. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me take a coffee break. I got my mug. I'm rambling on, and y'all got to start commenting. My mouth getting dry. Y'all got to start commenting. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying to y'all is the fact that when it comes down to this Eagles team, I think that the reason why that the Eagles get so much hate is because people want to create a problem within the organization. People want to make it seem like that it's an issue when it's not. Now, do I think that AJ Brown needed to tone down and calm down on the tweets? Yes, because at the end of the day, you do not want to be in a situation where, let's say what I was proposing last week, if they would have traded AJ Brown to the Browns for Myles Garrett. Is that a situation you really want to put yourself in and be a part of an organization that has no shot at winning? and you probably still won't even get the stats that you're looking for because they don't have no real QB right now, especially since they're not starting Shador. Like, so when you do stuff like that, do you really believe that's what you want to do? So I do think he needs to tone down on the tweeting and all that. But I do need the media to understand, like, yo, listen, it's grown pains. Like, this is not normal. Like, anytime we had a first year play caller on the Eagles offense, it's been this type of game, these type of years. Look at Brian Johnson, promoted him within first year calling plays. The offense looked like trash to a point that going down the stretch, we collapsed because I believe like Jalen Hurts didn't want to, or Jalen Hurts wasn't on board with what was going on. You see the following year when we got Kellen Moore, it was a different ball game. Like in the first 4 games, I'll get it wrong, it was a little rocky because they didn't have an identity. But when the team went to when the team went to them and told them that we should be a running team, we got Saquon Barkley on the field. They styled their offense as a running offense, and look what happened. Ran all the way through to the Super Bowl. So now you got another first year coordinator that's calling plays for the first time. And I think sometimes when you got like AJ Brown on the field, you force feed. And you don't need to force feed. You just need to play your game. And that's where I think that AJ Brown needs to do a better job of not complaining and just, call the play or run the play that's called. You said no, people just want to see us fall because we've been. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. I can't understand why though. That's the point I'm trying to make. I can't understand why. Because here's the thing, like when the Chiefs started making their run and being who they were, everybody was on board with the Chiefs. You very rarely got a lot of hate when it came to the Chiefs. Now that the Eagles is establishing some momentum and being good, now it's like, yo, hold on, these guys are not, this Jalen Hurts can't do this, Jalen Hurts can't do that, and he goes out there consistently shows that he could do it, and it's like he still don't get the respect and love that he should. I don't know none of these people, so I'm just talking trash. I already know. I know you talking trash. I know you don't know who anybody I'm talking about, so you just talking trash. You just trolling. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that. But I need the comments, so keep commenting because the more and more you comment, the more and more the live get pushed out to people, other people because they'll see a bunch of comments and they'll say, let me see what they talking about over there. But even though they're trolling, that's cool. I like it. But anyway, like I said, what more does Jalen Hurts have to do to prove to people that he's way better than what people want to give him credit for? I just can't wait till tomorrow night because normally I'm not all hype about some of these games, but tomorrow and yeah, you don't need to. Hey, good morning, mom. But like I said, the comments help out. The comments definitely help out. Um, but like I said, I can't wait to tomorrow night and next Sunday night because we play Detroit. Those are two of the teams that they say are better than the Eagles, and it's like when we go out there and handle business, what are you going to say then? Detroit is a good team, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them. When they're going against teams that are pretty good, got good defenses and all that. Jared Goff is not mobile. Look at Indiana Jones. I hope he don't collapse that team. Indiana Jones, he was doing so good for so long, and now all of a sudden, I don't want him to start crashing and not doing good or whatever because that's going to suck. But like I said, because I think the Colts are a real team. I don't know if it's most of y'all on here are Eagles fans, but the Colts are a real team, and if Indiana Jones starts collapsing, man, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's a good game right now, but Indiana Jones is looking terrible over the last 2 weeks. I don't know. I hope that doesn't collapse that team. I hope that doesn't make that team playoff chances, and then because the Falcons are one of them teams that frustrate the heck out of you. If you was a Falcons fan right now, like I would be so pissed off right now because we got all the talent. We got a good tight end. We got a running back. We got receivers. Like, and that team is so up and down. They could go out and do games like this where they end the game and it's a good football game, and then they can go out and get blown out 30-0. It's like it's no consistency. You know what I mean? Look, they're turning the ball over right now. That team looks, like they're a good team. And then the next week, I'll bet you this. Next week they get the doors blown off of them. And most of us in our pick'ems, which we get to, we picked Indiana because they were a better team, and we know that the Falcons are inconsistent. But this is the type of effort you get when you go against the Falcons. Anytime you go against the Falcons, they win. Anytime you go with them, they lose. It's like, what in the world? And like I said, as a fan of the Falcons, I know people are probably pissed off at times because it's like, yo, why are we so inconsistent? But um, anyway, what I was talking about. So no, we got 2 tough games coming up. We got the Packers tomorrow night, and then we got the Lions Sunday night. 2 teams that I got on my calendar circle to have so for us to have good games in. Now, again, we know the style of football that the Eagles play. We know that we're gonna be on the edge of our chairs, edge of our seats, pulling our hair out, yelling at the TV at times, being irritated and mad, or whatever the case may be. But I do think that we have enough to beat both of those teams. And at that point, I want to see what people say then. I want to see if people give us our props at that point. I want to see if people tell go out there and say, you know what? I don't know if there's anybody out there that can stop the Eagles. I don't know if there's anybody out there that can go against the Eagles. I want to see what the talk is at that point. Let's pull up. Hold on. Let me do something. Let me pull up the remaining schedule of the season. Let me pull up Eagles schedule real quick. Hold on, y'all. Y'all. There it is. So we got the Packers, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Commanders, the Bills, and the Commanders. So we got some tough games. Like the only all right. So out of the rest of the season, truth be told, with the Commanders with their injuries, the Chargers with their inconsistent, play, the Cowboys just not a good team. The Bears are not really a good team. I mean, no, the Bears are a good team, but I don't believe in Caleb Williams. Truthfully, and this is not depending on position for the Bills. Um, truthfully, I see us losing maybe one game, and that may be against the Bills. I believe the Packers we can win, and I believe the Detroit Lions we can win. But the rest of the season, I see us losing maybe one game. Maybe one game. So that's one. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, 1 loss. 8 wins, 1 loss. I can see the Eagles going 8-1 over the rest of the season. Like I said, the only team, depending on where the Bills is positioned at, the only team I can see us losing to is the Bills. That's the only team. Like everybody else, like I said, the Commanders are beat up. Packers and Lions, I believe we can win. Cowboys are, not a good team. The Bears, to me, are not a good team. You know what? No, it's the truth. We could definitely go 8-1 over the next rest of the season. Only like December 8th is probably a Monday night game against the Chargers. Like I ain't even trying to be a fanboy. I ain't even trying to be smart. Y'all can say what y'all want or believe what y'all want. I think the only team that we could possibly lose to over the rest of the season is the Bills, and that depends on the position that the Bills are in. if the Bills are in a position where they don't need a game and they're kind of like resting starters and things of that nature, I could see us doing what Jalen Hurts said after that Giants game, going into the bye week. Jalen Hurts said, "We ain't losing no more," and I could see that happening. 'Cause like I said, it's besides the Packers and the Lions, those are the two probably hardest games that we have remaining on the schedule, depending on what the Bills are doing. Um, those are the two hardest games we got on the schedule. We get through those two games, I think rest of the schedule is just a cakewalk, and we're gonna be 8-1 through the rest of the season. And so that, I mean, was that a 14-3 record again? So if we last year we went 14-3, this year we go 14-3, we still wouldn't get the respect that we deserve. Like, somebody help me understand this. We still won't get no respect if we are 14-3 2 years in a row. Win the NFC, which nobody has done back to back in years, because most likely the NFC is going to go through us. NFC East, I should say, is going to go through us. Nobody's done that in years. It is happening. So stop hating. You're a hater. You're a hater. You get this. That's what the haters get. But it's not being back to back NFC East champions. That hasn't happened in God knows how long. Because y'all can we hold on. Y'all deserve the respect because y'all play hard. But now you want to be a part of the team. See that? There you go. You get the bird sound. That's a crow, but it doesn't matter. We can win or lose any game. Ain't no certain wins or losses. Jay, any given Sunday, we all know any given Sunday, you know any particular team can win. I mean, like we saw us lose to the Giants, but realistically, what I'm saying to you is that um, being honest, if you look at the rest of the schedule, this is just my confidence I have in the ability that the Eagles have is the fact that I believe they can win go 8-1 throughout the rest of the year. Now you can say, and then you can say that, yeah, no, any given Sunday, I'm not discounting that. I'm not saying that, this is not football. I'm not saying that the other teams are not professionals. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying in the confidence I have in my team, I believe that we can go 8-1 throughout the rest of the year, maybe possibly 9-0, depending on that Bills situation. That's just my thought process. That's just how I feel. Like you can tell me I'm wrong. That's cool. Like I take it, but I'm gonna ride with it because, like I said, I think the next two games will prove to me what we have the ability to do. The next two games are two big games. If we come out them two big games with wins, I don't see us really losing to anybody else throughout the rest of the way. I just don't. That's just my feeling. But you can think that you can think differently if you want to. That's cool. I understand it, and I'm not mad at it. But anyway, that is the first half of the show where we got into breaking down the Eagles versus the Packers. Like I said, the Packers are a good team. Jordan Love to me is not a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, but he's getting the credit as being a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. The only thing that the Packers did from last year to this year to me was add Micah Parsons, which is a huge addition because I was hoping that the Eagles could have got him, and that would have been crazy. But it is what it is, and now we face him, and we're probably gonna face him again going through the playoffs. But I believe if we win today, we will have what it takes to win. I'm not today, tomorrow night we will have what it takes to be Super Bowl contenders again, especially beating them and Detroit. The key additions to our defense, which was much needed, was Jalen Phillips, Jair Alexander, who I didn't know was a Philly product. He came from the PA area, and Michael Carter. Those are huge pickups in spots that we did need help in. And so I think those guys will contribute right off the bat. I think Jair Alexander in Baltimore, he got injured. I think 2 games. The last game was a healthy scratch. Um, but like he said, they wanted to go with the young guys they had. So it was what it was. Coming here, playing for this organization, being as though that he's not going to actually have to play every down, it can spare him from being injured. And we saw him in the Green Bay Packers uniform be a great cornerback, a good cornerback. So there's no reason why we don't think that he can do that here, as long as he's staying healthy. You know what I mean? We should be good. Dallas wasn't giving him to us. You see the poison pill clause they had put in the trade. I saw something like that this morning as everybody was posting. I didn't read it. I didn't read through it. But what is the poison pill clause? Tell me what they talking about with that, because I seen that this morning, but I'm like, I didn't read through it because I was getting up, getting ready for to get on here. But I didn't understand it, so I just left it alone. I thought that was more people trolling or whatever, but I didn't say nothing about it. But like, I mean, I I don't think I think Jerry is old and sometimes senile, but I don't think he's that bad to where as though he would have traded Michael Parsons to the Eagles and had to play him twice a year. I don't think he would have did that to his organization. Um, but sending them to Green Bay, a team that beat you in the playoffs, like two of the last times y'all faced them, I don't think that was. I just don't think the haul that he got back for Michael Parsons was something that you should be happy or proud or brag about. Like, I don't think that was a good trade to me. People say it was because you got Kenny Clark and two number one picks, but they're gonna be low round number one picks. I just don't. I don't agree with the trade what he got back. I think he could have got more. Probably should have traded him in the offseason so that he could have gotten more. All right, but listen, we're into the pick'em section of the show. I know a lot of y'all sit there and listen to me talk for the first half an hour just to get to this point, and that's fine. As long as you stayed on here, as long as you know, gave me some views, I appreciate it. And then hopefully some of you guys that know how to do this, share it out. Share the live out on your page. Like it up, tap the screen, share it out, post about it. We're trying to do big things over here. We're trying to get in big places and be seen on a higher setting. If if he was traded to the Eagles, they would have to give up the 2028 first round pick. Oh, Dallas would have to give up their 2028 first round pick. Why is that? Why is that? Because that was in division. Is that what you're saying? Is that why they had to do that? I don't know. I got to read that. I saw it, but I didn't read it. But to start off, we have we saw the Las Vegas Raiders lose to the Denver Broncos. So if anybody picked the Broncos, you started out with a win. I definitely picked the Broncos. And if you watch my video, go watch my last video when I did the picks. Drop a like on that, share it up. Drop a like on a video I did about mental health. Please do that. And like I said, reach out if you guys are going through anything and you don't feel like you have nobody to talk to. Call me. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Next game is going on now, where we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Indianapolis Colts over in what is this? Where they at in Berlin? Atlanta's winning right now, 17-13 over the Colts. Most of us picked the Colts to win. I definitely picked the Colts to win. And I'm hoping it's not one of them games. Oh, you picked the Broncos? Yeah, you picked the Broncos. I hope it's not one of those games where we get upset by the Atlanta winning that game. Joanna says the Colts. I have the Colts. Like I said, I believe all of us is probably have the Colts to win that game. My mom got the Colts. So we all pretty much picked the Colts. Jason, I don't know if you picked the Colts or not. But the next game we have is the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. The Bears. I went with Chicago. I think Chicago is better than the Giants. I did see that Jackson Dart. You picked Indy. Yep. Joanna says Chicago. I picked Chicago too. I think we saw Jackson Dart bounce back over the fact that losing Cam Scatterboot for the season in the way they did. I think he did come back to play some good football. I just the team is just too young, too inexperienced. I think they're just not a good football team at this point. So I did pick Chicago. My mom says New York, trust me. New York, trust me. Now that laugh was not in a sense that I don't trust you, because every time I don't trust you and tell you that your picks is wrong, they wind up winning. So I'm gonna acknowledge it here first. I'm not going against that pick. I'm not, because it is the Chicago Bears. But I think the Bears are just a better team. But we will see, because you have picked teams in the past that have won games that 90% of us, or 95% of us, not maybe even 99% of us, said they wouldn't win. So I'm trusting you. I see you got the Giants, the G men. We'll see. Jason went Chicago. Um, my mom was the only Giant one went Giants, so we all went Chicago except for my mom. Um, next game is Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo at Miami. I'm going Buffalo in that game. Buffalo to me is the better team, and Miami is just a dumpster fire right now. And they traded away some of their. I think they only made one trade. They traded away Jalen Phillips to the Eagles. So that team is in rebuild mode. So I'm obviously gonna go Buffalo. Joanna goes Buffalo. My mom gives me a thumbs up because I gave her props. Now you can't say I didn't do it. My mom goes Buffalo. Um, I'm pretty sure Jason going Buffalo in that game too, because again Miami's a dumpster fire. They're in rebuild mode now. And they're probably gonna be looking for a new head coach next year. Jason goes to Bills because they can't get rid of that contract they gave to it. It's too big. Um, sorry. Next game, Baltimore Ravens at the Minnesota Vikings. Now this is a game that could be an either way game. You go to either team. I went Minnesota in this game. Why did I go Minnesota? Because I believe that the Ravens defense is not as good as they once were. Um, Joanna went Minnesota. My mom went Baltimore. Um, Baltimore defense is suffering, and Minnesota has a pretty good defense. Now, I don't know if it's enough to stop Lamar Jackson. But they have a pretty good defense, so I'm going Minnesota in that game. I think JJ McCarthy builds off the confidence that he had last week when he went in and beat. Who did they play last week? He had a big win against last week. Was it the Colts? I think it was the Colts. Jason went the Ravens. Okay, we're gonna see what we're gonna see. Next game is Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets. Jets traded away a lot of key pieces last week before the trade deadline. Quentin Williams went to the Cowboys. Sauce Gardner is playing in Indianapolis. I went Cleveland in that game. Cleveland to me is just a better team right now because the Jets are in a rebuild mode. So Cleveland to me is going to win that game. Joanna went Cleveland. I'm pretty sure my mom and Jason probably will go Cleveland if I know. No trust in JJ for me. I understand that he doesn't earn full trust. I'm not saying that he's just that much better, and that we're gonna win. They're gonna win because of him. But I just think they might build off some of the momentum they had last week and get the win. Cleveland, my mom picks Cleveland and Jason picks Cleveland. We all went Cleveland in that game. Next game is the New England Patriots at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this game, it's going to be, a good game for them. It would be a good game for them, but I don't think they're going to win. I like New England in that game. New England is the better team. It sounds like you're using my sheet. No, I'm not, because look at your pick. Right after you said that, look at your pick. Tampa Bay. New England, to me, is the better team, got the better defense. Um, I just think all around with the Drake May and Stephon Diggs combination, I think they've been looking good, playing some good football. You know what I mean? So I like New England in that game. My mom even picks Tampa Bay, Joanna Tampa Bay. Um, I'm going New England, and I'm surprised my mom didn't go New England because of her Boston connection. You know, that's surprising that you didn't do that because of your Boston connection. I think that's you rebelling against the fact that I put that out there, and you didn't realize that I knew that. Jason went to Patriots. Next game is the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. I went the Panthers in that game. Didn't realize the Panthers is over 500 for the year. What are they, like 5-4 right now? I didn't realize that they were a sneaky good team. They beat the Packers last week. They're a sneaky good team. Joanna picks New Orleans. She don't watch football. My mom said not today. Talking about the last game with the Patriots game. But like I said, to me, I didn't know Carolina was that good. You know, they're over 500. I'm not gonna say that good as to where they're making a playoff run or anything like that. But they're pretty good. Yeah, it's funny because you don't watch football. But I got Carolina beating the Saints because the Saints, they traded away a receiver. Jason goes Carolina. They traded away a receiver, and didn't they make another trade? But I think the Saints are in rebuild mode. They're not a good team, and I think they lose that game. Next game is Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Now, before y'all put y'all picks in, mind you, C.J. Stroud is out because you fell off this year. Mind you, C.J. Stroud is out. So I went Jacksonville. They picked up a receiver in Houston. Joanna went Houston. They picked up a receiver in the trade deadline that can help them out from the Raiders. So I'm going Jacksonville in that game. I believe Jacksonville will come out with a victory. So Joanna picked Houston. Jason and my mom. I don't know who y'all pick yet. This next game, I'm going to be kind of hesitant on saying because my mom goes Jacksonville. I'm going to be hesitant on saying this team because I don't want to hear, and we're going to start issuing fines on the show, like fines and penalties on the show for unnecessary comments. You know, this show is, I'm saying all this for a reason. This show is for sports talk only. And we'll be on here talking sports, having a good time. And like I said, we want to get into some deeper conversations we can. But this show is sports talk only. We do not talk about anything else outside of sports or outside of a topic that is agreed upon by the chat, by everybody that's in the chat. So anything else that we talk or anything else that's commented in the chat is going to be penalized. You might have to sit in timeout for a minute or two or whatever, but for the people that's here that don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see right now. Next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. See, boom! Like I said, I knew it was going to happen. This is the comment that I'm talking about. We have to flag. We have to flag comments like this because they do not talk about sports. This is not a sports comment. All I need is Arizona. That's it. It's for the win. So this comment will be flagged. Let's see what we could do. Yep. Bing, bing, bing. That comment. We flagging it. My mom goes Arizona because she lives in Arizona. Joanna goes Seattle. I went Seattle. Seattle's a better team. I think the Seahawks is one of them teams that could be in contention to make it to the Super Bowl. Like, that's a good team. I don't see how Minnesota let go of Sam Darnold. but they did, and that's on them. But I like that team. I got Seattle winning, and Jason with Seahawks. Next game is the Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams is looking to get their get back. Puka Nacua will be playing in this game. I got the Rams in the game because they lost earlier in the season to the 49ers, I think by like a touchdown or a field goal. So I'm going to the Rams in that game. Joanna goes San Fran. I don't know. Rams is a young up and coming team, got good defense. A lot of people are picking them to probably compete to get to the Super Bowl. A lot of people pick them as better than the Eagles. That's another thing I don't understand. We beat them 3 times in the last year. Like I don't get it. My mom goes to Rams. Jason goes to Rams. So except for Joanna, we all went Rams. Next game is our next week's opponent, Detroit Lions at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders got a whole ton of injuries. Analysts was out there talking about how the Commanders were a better team. Smitty, don't come in here with this nonsense. Don't come in here with this nonsense. This another comment that will be flagged. This stuff like that. Quentin Williams, what is he gonna do? Y'all season is already in the dumps. Don't come in here with that nonsense, Smitty. You've been quiet all year. I ain't hear you all year. Joanna says Detroit. I got Detroit. We all probably gonna go Detroit in that game. Smitty, don't come in here with that nonsense. I gotta tell you again, don't come in here with that nonsense. You've been quiet all year, man. I missed you all year. Y'all team ain't nothing. We all went Detroit. My mom went Detroit. Jason went Detroit. We all went Detroit in that game. Next game is the Sunday night game. This is one of those games that can go either way. But good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hope all is well. We got to get back on together and do a show. Top 3 defensive tackle to a team that's not going to make the playoffs. I guess y'all did it for next year. I guess. All right. I give you that. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Chargers. We definitely need to get back on. Yeah. Maybe we could do something next week if you ain't busy. Maybe we do something next week. You come. I'll be on East U6s today too if you're around. Joanna went Pittsburgh. I went Pittsburgh in that game. Pittsburgh to me is the better. This game can go either way because the Chargers got some good defense. Chargers is a good team. They're just inconsistent. We got old man Rodgers playing some good football. I think he could pull it out this week. I'm going Pittsburgh in that game. My mom went to Chargers. Joanna went Pittsburgh. Jason, who you got? I'm sure you'll probably go. Let's see if I can predict Jason pick Pittsburgh. Let me say Jason went Pittsburgh. Next game is the Monday night game, our game, the game of the week. They gave up a lot too. Yeah, they gave up two number ones or something like that. Next game is he went to Chargers. He went to Chargers in that game. I thought he would go Pittsburgh in that game. He went to Chargers. All right. Next game is our game, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers, 8:15 tomorrow night. Eagles to me all day. I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles in a way, not a blowout fashion, not nowhere near a blowout win. Even though I would love to see that. My mom Eagles, Joanna Philly, and 55 points. I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think by no stretch Jason with the Eagles is a blowout, but I think it's a win that kind of puts the league on notice that the Eagles are still a good team, despite any and everything that they might go through. They're still a good team. They still know how to play winning style football. And I think that these next 2 weeks will prove to the league that the Eagles are for real and that you have to respect every part of that team. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. No matter what you hear, the bickering or the fussing and the fighting, no matter none of that. The Eagles are for real and the Eagles are a good football team. Jalen Hurts has to do what he doesn't want to do as far as, he has to throw the ball up to AJ in the 50-50 shots. He has to hit his check downs. He has to get his tight end involved. They have to run the ball consistently. We saw Saquon Barkley finally get over 100 yards last week. Not last week, but the week before against the Giants. We saw him finally hit that 100-yard mark. If we can consistently build off of what we did in that Giants game and take it to this Green Bay game and Detroit, I think this team will be a force to be reckoned with and really be in contention to say that they can go back to back and win Super Bowls back to back. You know, I don't know if y'all pay attention to what they say about the Super Bowl logo and how the colors in the Super Bowl logo represent the teams that are going to be playing in the Super Bowl. And the logo has a little bit of blue in it and has a little bit of green in it. So that would that's symbolizing the fact that they believe the Buffalo Bills will be facing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I never noticed that until I think a couple of years ago, and somebody pointed it out. But it kind of does represent what the Super Bowl is going to be. So if we consistently do what we did, if we build off of what we did last week against the Giants or last game against the Giants, and we build off of that and do more and consistently do more for the next 2 weeks, I believe going through the rest of the season, I'm not going to say it's going to be a cakewalk, but I think it's going to be a lot easier, or not a lot easier, but I think we're going to have a lot more success going through the rest of the season. Again, I got us going 9-1 or 8-1 for the rest of the season. And the one loss against the Bills depends on where the Bills sit at. It depends on if the Bills are fighting for position or not. If they're already locked up number 1 seed and they just need to, they're playing guys and, trying to rest some other guys, I think we can win. We'll win that and possibly go to 9-0, finish the season off 14-2. So that's just my thought process. We'll see. 15-2. I'm sorry, 15-2. We'll see if my prediction is true. But I do believe that these next 2 games will show a lot of people around the league what the Eagles are made of, what we're about, and the fact that we're not a team to be played with. So that is my show for today. Again, huge shout out to my mother for the cup, my old logo when I first started, the new one. And when you put liquids in here, whether it's cold or hot, the image, you can really see the image. I didn't put anything in here yet, but you can really see the image. So my mom does crafting. If anybody want a specialized logo, let me know. Inbox me or inbox her on here because her name is Good Show, little bro. Thanks, little sis. Her name Pam Burgess on here. You can inbox her or inbox me. Again, she's not a factory. She can't do mass production, mass orders. So you have to give her time to, if you want something like that, give her time and, and she'll work it out and get it sent to you. The second part is, before we close out, again, we saw the Dallas Cowboys player, Marshawn Nealon, commit suicide. Like I said, mental health is real. We all are going through stuff in life. We all are, fighting demons that we sometimes don't know how to fight or can't win against. And the only way to win, or the only way to get some type of some type of relief is to talk. Sometimes it's better to talk your problems out than to hold them in, and then you start to do stuff to yourself that doesn't need to be done. Again, with a guy like him, people would think that he got his stuff in order, he made it to the NFL. He doesn't have any problems because he got the money, the fame, whatever the case may be. He's playing in the NFL on a high uh, on a high note. But those people are the people with the biggest problems in the biggest situations, because they're always constantly being asked, can you do this for me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And nobody asks them, do you need help? What do you need? Can I help you? What can I do for you? So again, when I started out the live today, I encourage everybody to just reach out to each other, and you know, if you're going through anything, reach out to somebody. Do not try to hold it in. Do not try to fight it by yourself. Do not try to, you know, figure out that you got the you know, the answer to the problem. You don't. Seek help. Do not let it get to a point where it's boiling over, and you know, it's getting to a point where you're thinking about taking your life. That's not the answer. Your height don't qualify as older. Yeah, I know. That's what you would say. Thank you, son. No problem, Mom. Love you. Bro, again, everybody in the chat, if y'all can wish Jason a happy belated birthday. His birthday was November 6th. He turned 57 years old that day. So he's knocking on the door of Father Time. Coach is blowing his game. Yeah, Coach, that's what I say. It kills me to see Atlanta. You know, sometimes they look good, and then sometimes it's like this. But I hope Indiana Jones isn't breaking down. You know, I hope Indiana Jones isn't breaking down. That's going to suck for that team. But again, that is my show for today. I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving me over the years. Yep, suicide hotline number is 988. Anybody feeling suicidal and want to talk to somebody, please, please, please call that number. Do not take it on your own. You know, reach out for help. There's nothing wrong with help. Trust me, it is nothing wrong with help. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for being a part of the show. 67. No, I said you're turning 57. 57, not 67. But I appreciate you guys for being a part of the show. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Peace.
Flyers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set? Somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top Shelf, sports talk, lights, cameras, we active.